So here's the bird. You're going to clean it and shape it. Then you're going to take it apart exactly as we did today. Legs off first. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to, because you may know where you're going. Come down behind the oyster, just like we did today. Break the socket. Come through. That comes off. Two legs at once. When you're working in close quarters, remember you need to be careful. Come down behind the oyster. Break the socket. I might as well do the wings while I'm here. So French the wing, about 1 inch off the breast. I'm not going to show you this because you've done it today. You all know how to do that. Just make sure you well clean it so the bone is nice and Frenched. So once you've got them separated, so you're going to bend it back the other way. Now sometimes the bone will break or it comes off clean. So you know what to do with it. Same with the other one. Now you see sometimes it comes off and it leaves knuckles behind. If it does that, it needs a little gentle persuasion just to separate that. If you've got the knuckles left behind, they must be gone. So you've got to remove them. Just a little cartilage there, and then clean the bone. And put that with your bone collection. Let me set that aside for a second. Come to the legs. You're going to be making ballotines. You have done that this week already, but this is a little different, this ballotine. Too much fat and skin, trim it off. You're going to remove the thigh bone. This is the thigh bone, right here. So run your knife up one side of the thigh bone, scrape the meat, up the other side of the thigh bone, then manipulate the bone so your fingers are touching underneath the bone. When your fingers are touching, replace your fingers with the knife so it comes through and then cut out. Now hold the bone as a handle. You're going to cut and tear back until you expose the kneecap. Once you get the kneecap exposed, put your knife in between it, pull it over on a cutting board and cut through it. So now you've got a chicken leg with the thigh bone gone. I want you to French the ankle. Now you're going to tuck this around, making sure it's handsome. That is called a ballotine, but we leave the bone in it just to give it a different shape. You've done ballotines already without the bone this week, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then you collect your bones. Do the same thing with the other one. I'm not going to do it because you just saw me do it.
So that's the one we're going to need for the...
In your chest.
The one with the bone.
Right. 2 like that, 2 French wings, and then you're going to do 2 supremes of chicken. The supreme of chicken is a little different from what you've done today. We need to separate the skin. It will sometimes pull off, sometimes it will not. You have to give it some gentle persuasion. What gentle persuasion means in butchery is just touching the membrane that's just below the skin. Do not damage your breasts. I'm looking at you, kid. You'll have the fat and skin off from the breast area. That is one piece. We use that for cracklings. You put salt and pepper on that, a little olive oil, roast that in the oven until it's golden brown and crispy. That eats lovely. We have duck crackling, pork crackling, chicken cracklings. You're only allowed 1 a month. If you end up eating too much of this stuff, you'll end up with a figure like mine, so you've got to be careful. So that's value. So now you've got the 2 breasts without the skin. You're going to take them off exactly the same way. Make an incision. Nice clean cut. Come down to the top of the wishbone, cut down and break. You're going to hear a click. Just start to separate that with your fingers and then go in there with your knife. Run your knife against the carcass until that comes away. It comes all the way down to the joint. Make sure you get to the joint. Make sure the wing stays attached to the breast. Yes? Somebody else over there. Marika.
Yes.
So that's one breast off. Do the same with the other one. Now when you come down this one, you're going to come down nice clean cut, but when you get here you need to physically take your knife around that corner So you don't leave a whole bunch of meat here, which a lot of you have been doing there today. And you just keep cutting down the opposite of this. And if you follow that straight down, actually it takes you right through the joint. And you just keep cutting along the carcass until the breast comes away. Now we're going to turn these breasts into supremes. You can leave it like that, leave the fat and skin on. We're going to turn these into supremes. So we need to remove the tenderloin. Little gentle persuasion. Do the same with both. If you work in pairs, you'll find it's more consistent. It's fresh in your mind. So now, a supreme of chicken is totally boneless, fatless and skinless except for the wing bone, which we keep for presentation purposes. So if there's any skin up there that you have to work in close quarters with, you be careful. You can damage yourself very easy. Working in close quarters, be careful. So there's one breast that's ready to go. There's a little wishbone in there, I can feel it. Sometimes that will slide out. Sometimes you have to give it a little gentle persuasion. That means using a knife. Come back to this one. There's a little wishbone in there too. You see, I move the bird around so it's comfortable with my working style. Do the same thing. There's a little cartilage left there, it's got to come off. So now I've got two breasts. The tenderloin came off from here. I want to put the tenderloin inside the breast, so I'm going to reverse it. So fat end, thin end. Fat end, thin end. Match them up. Same on this one. Now I want to cut a pocket in here. So I'm going to ghost it first. I'm going to take my knife in here. I'm going to make a little pocket. I'm going to bring my knife out here. Then I'm going to take my little finger in there and stretch that pocket and put that inside. So you need to do this carefully. So just go in with your knife very carefully. Making a little incision. Stop. Stretch it out again. Put your finger in there and stretch that pocket. Don't stretch it too far. Now you're going to stuff this back inside. This ends up making a lovely, plump breast. That is what a supreme of chicken is. A plump, skinless, fatless breast. So that is one there. So you're going to do 2 Valentines, 2 Supremes, and 2 French twins. Let me do this one. Look, I'm going to ghost it. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to cut down carefully. I've got my hand resting on the knife actually. I can feel where I'm going. Don't make it too big with the knife. Bring the knife out. Take your finger, stretch that hole. Stretch the pocket. And then put your tenderloin inside. So 2 nice breasts, French bone. 2 drumsticks, and 2 French wings. Okay, that's going to be your test chicken. I suggest, while it's fresh in your mind, you buy a chicken this weekend, you do it now. If you do it every weekend, it will be better for you. If you don't do it, you're stupid. Okay? Alright, don't go away. I'm going to show you some more demo stuff. Let me just leave that there. Go ahead. Look, this is a Cornish hen. How do I know that?
This is Cornish
This
hen.
is a Cornish hen. It's a defrosted product. They come like that. Commonly, the back is on the other side. This one's been manipulated now. I'm not sure about that. So I'm going to open it carefully. There's going to be a load of liquid in there. What's that liquid called? Purge. Don't like that liquid. So get rid of it. Quite a bit in there. So it's a baby chicken. This is a crossbreed. They don't grow any bigger than about 30 ounces. We commonly don't cook it and serve it like that. We would debone it partially. Sometimes we stuff it. You're going to be doing that at the end of third semester. So clean off the wings, cut off the neck. quite wet. Give me some paper towel, please. I need to just dry it a bit. So I'm putting this bird through a butchery process. I can put any bird through the same process. It has a specific name. It's called spatchcock. You're actually going to be doing this in second semester with quails, and quite possibly with me as well. So what we need to do is to remove the back. This is the back right here. So to cut that out, I take my French knife and go inside one side of the back, cut down. Going back inside, do the other side. So that will come out of there. Now I'll make an incision in here. I'm going to dry it because it's quite wet. And I can take some more bones out if I want to. But I don't want to take too many because it's going to dry out when I cook it. So that style of butchery for birds is called spatchcock. That's ready to go on the grill. Cook it under a brick on the grill, make a barbecue, keep it nice and flat. I just need to wash my hands and my knife. I'm going to do a demo of the turkey over there, so you want to move over there.